She conveniently forgot to inform the building manager that she had assiduously courted this individual for several months without success, and that she had been stealing his newspapers on a regular basis. On one occasion, she handed him a week's accumulation of those papers, claiming that they had been left outside the door of another apartment. Her reason for collecting and saving the newspapers, which had not been delivered to her directly, is unknown. They just steal shit. Okay. Recurring confrontations by unusual hostile strangers and comments by strangers which appear intended to evoke paranoid reactions. In this context, we note that the several individuals have reported confrontations with homeless people who, on closer examination, were found to be clean. Though garbed in offbeat fashion, wigs and stuff, the same eccentric confronted two of the individuals in contact with us. Okay. He is reported as having mental illness on both occasions and as having apparently enjoyed creating a public scene. Okay. Entries into the individual residence during late night hours when he or she is sleeping. Now that is super creepy. And I think, of course, I've had that several times. And or during the day when the individual is elsewhere. Now break-ins, yes, those are the Freemasons. Or the Swiss Templars. In virtually all cases, the burglars leave evidence of their visits, such as relocating objects, committing petty and not so petty acts of vandalism. In cases, the burglar's calling card was to slaughter caged pets. Oh my gosh. Leaving the mangled carcass inside their locked cages. That's disgusting. Yeah. In one case, the burglar stole several pieces of correspondence and left a packet of crack cocaine behind as a calling card. Our contact in this case, an individual who has no criminal record and no history of experimentation with drugs, is also being harassed, stalked by a police officer of her community. One of his recent acts was to frame her with a drug possession charge. After pulling her off the road and subjecting her to an illegal search, done twice so far, he conveniently managed to find a gasoline packet of cocaine 8 feet away in front of his squad car. Yeah, they plant shit. He retrieved the packet with his fingers and then charged her with possession. Our contact found the packet of crack cocaine in her apartment shortly after this investigator reminded the attorney handing her case that the police officer had smudged his or her own piece of evidence with his own fingerprints. Oh, wow. It would appear that someone is interested in correcting that police officer's oversight. In another case, the individual reports that a tremendous amount of money had been stolen from their hiding place in their apartment within hours after she had withdrawn the money from her bank. There were no obvious signs of entry into her apartment. That's probably jump room technology. Right there. They probably used jump room technology on her. The police conducted a cursory inquiry which failed to produce evidence of a crime worthy of investigation. This case is an anomaly. Money is usually not stolen. Documents appear to be preferred objects of theft. Okay. If they break into your home and there's no sign and your stuff is gone and there's nothing else around, it's probably they use jump room, like a portal. They used a portal. It's called jump room technology. Andrew Basaggio on Coast to Coast talked about it. He said that he did jump room technology with Obama. So Obama knows all about this technology. Okay. In another case, the burglars replaced installed light bulbs with exploding bulbs, many of which were made in Hungary. Huh, that's interesting. They'll replace your light bulbs. Okay. Rapidly deteriorating health, generally of a digestive nature. In 2 cases of the case reported, massive rectal bleeding, accompanied with the sudden onset of severe gastrointestinal disturbances, One of these individuals abruptly terminated the deteriorated process simply by changing the locks on her door. Sleep disruption and deprivation. This is achieved by means of overt and electronic harassment. Sleep deprivation as a tactic invariably surfaces when the targeted individual begins exhibiting a strong emotional and irrational response to other forms of harassment. Vandalism of privately owned vehicles. Vehicles invite particular ferocious attacks. Okay, slash tires, smash windows, oil drainage, oil contamination, destruction of electronic components and batteries, wildly fluctuated grounded fuel gauges, often within range of weapons research facilities and often microwave emitters. Failed brakes, clutches. Okay, this is all DoD non-lethal weapon arsenal. Recurrent auto thefts have also been reported. 2 individuals reporting finding their oil contaminated immediately after having the oil changed by reputable mechanics. In one of these cases, the oil viscosified, thickened, while the individual was driving through a remote rural area. Her car grounded to a halt. Getting the gunk cleaned out of her engine proved to be an expensive ordeal. Viscosification agents are also lauded by the U.S. Global Strategy Council as serving as a non-lethal strategic purpose. A topic discussed in part 1 of this publication. Had this woman been assaulted while awaiting help in this said isolated area, the non-lethal attributes to viscosification agents might have required redefinition. Most of those who have experienced these attacks on a recurring basis have abandoned driving altogether, an objective apparently sought by their tormentors as a means of increasing their isolation. That is so true. That is so true. I mean, they fuck up your bike. They'll just fuck up your cars. They'll kill your cats. Yeah. You know? Staged accidents. Now, this is so true. I had one last night. Yeah, I was coming, I just did my shopping. I was coming up to a light, and it was weird. It was like, all of a sudden, this cop car appeared, and he did like this. He was, he appeared and he made this big old U-ey, and then all of a sudden it was just like the weirdest move he made. It was like he just purposely moved into like near these 2 cars, and no one heard any accidents. It was all staged. The majority of those in touch with us have reported those types of experiences. One individual, for example, was tailgated at such a high rate of speed by 2 vehicles while concurrently being threatened with a gun by one of those vehicle occupants. 2 others narrowly avoided what happened to be a deliberate attempted collision by drivers who quickly sped away from the scene. 1 avoided 3 attempts in 4 days of being run off the road. 1 survived by being run off the road in 2 incidents within 1 week period, which resulted in totaling her 2 vehicles. Another narrowly avoided being crushed into an expressway retaining wall on 4 occasions by an off-duty Metro bus, as well as within the same time frame being fried by 2 suddenly malfunctioning household appliances. In some of these cases, accidental deaths do occur. 1 individual in contact with reported that his mother drove off a cliff to her death. Oh my gosh. During a period when he was researching evidence that still respected high-level State Department official had passed A-bomb secrets to the Soviet government during World War II. The accident occurred shortly after her car had undergone routine maintenance. She was returning from a dental appointment when the accident occurred. Witnesses state that it appeared that she had a sudden stepped on the accelerator before running off the road. The accident served to terminate this person's research project. Okay, so this person was doing work on researching evidence that a high-level State Department official had passed A-bomb secrets to the Soviets during World War II. Huh. We also look into the recent death of a woman in Lexington, Missouri, who was killed when the brakes on her tractor failed. We are informed that she had been collecting affidavits from persons who believe they are the targets of government harassment and experimentation when her accident occurred. We are also informed of these affidavits have disappeared. See? That's why I don't... I will not do an affidavit and turn it into, like, these group targeting things. I just won't do it. Because I don't know what will happen with it. You don't know. Besides, all I gotta do is just look at them and see if they're a reptilian or not. So, you know. Remember, all I gotta do is just look at you. And I'll know. That's all I gotta do. That's all I gotta do. I don't have to prove shit to anybody. But what I am doing is I'm telling you how these fucking Masons are doing the game. This is part of their game. You know, information is power. So, like I said, I have nothing to fear, man. All I gotta do is just fucking look at your ass. That's all I gotta do. I don't have to explain shit to anybody. All I gotta do is just fucking look at you. Okay? Suicides might also qualify as staged accidents. Aha. Particularly where plausible deniability government involvement has been surfaced. We are currently looking into the recent suicide of a man in Trapp, Pennsylvania, who as early as 1981 had asked the FBI and CIA to intervene in his case. We have copies of that early correspondence. The man, a former U.S. Army radar technician, had a highly technical and given date of his correspondent pre-copious grasp of the experimental objectives apparently being sought in this case. It is apparent from his correspondence that he had wanted to believe that the Soviets were conducting these experiments. Well, no shit. Could be anybody. Like I said, like I keep telling you people, you have copper-based DNA running loose on the planet. Okay? A lot of these people are reptilian. Okay? They don't give a fuck. Alright. Where was I? Okay. Isolation of the individual from members of his or her family virtually assured when high-focus forms of electronic harassment commence. The exception to this is when elderly parents, and young children in the family become targets for apparent purposes of intimidation. This situation has been reported in 8 of our cases to date.